Okay, I know that the highlights are kind of blown out or whatever, but as long as it doesn't darken my face too much. Okay, anyway, so I have been, this is too bright. Anyway, I've been to the gym like twice in the last several months, and regardless of any of that, I've lost about, I think, like 25 pounds or so. Like during probably middle of summer, let's say beginning of August, I was probably like, let's say 217 pounds, something like that. I weighed myself the other day and it said I was 187, I believe, somewhere around roughly 187. And so that has just been a result of not eating very much. Multitude of factors that went into that. But anyway, now I'm going to try to actually start going to the gym regularly, potentially. So I'm back. It's been a minute since I've been coming regularly, but we're here. Factors, at least one factor that's at play here, but we're going to see what happens. It's been a minute in terms of since coming regularly, and with the not eating as much lately and stuff. Who knows how strong or weak the muscles are, the joints or whatever. Who knows how out of shape everything is. It'd be cool if there was still a good amount of, residual strength or muscle or whatever from past training days and stuff like that. But anyway, probably going to get some good stretching in. Best to not start things off torquing something or whatever you want to call it. Probably going to do some arms. Find a good pillar, you know what I'm saying? Stretch. And maybe it's a good idea to not rush the stretch, just maybe just really take your time with it. Like, you ever been part of sports teams and they stretch a muscle, but they do it for like 10 seconds? And it's like, what if you did it for like 30 or more? Really stretch. Like, stretch until you actually really got a good stretch. Because if your goal is to stretch out the muscle, and you just kind of do something like this, right? It's like, is that enough? Or do you really just want to dig in there for a second? And kind of feel that muscle maybe loosen up a little or something. It's kind of good to be back, Got some memories with this gym. Goes back years, man. The first time I came in here and lifted something was in high school, like grade 10 or something. I went one time with some people from high school. I was probably pretty weak at the time, and not too confidence-inducing or whatever. But, over time and stuff, I probably started coming to this gym more regularly in grade 11 or 12, and fifth year in high school, stuff like that. When I took a lap year, get that good back cracking action. Okay. All right. So, start off simple but enjoyable. Good old-fashioned preacher curls. Nothing complicated. Just the other thing. You probably, if you've been around the gym conversation for any reasonable length of time, you might have deduced that it really ain't all that complicated, potentially. Let me flip the screen around here. The fitness genre on YouTube and stuff, maybe especially, but just maybe in general, it's is it fair that people are trying to reinvent the wheel? It could be tough maybe to make gym content about strictly like training and stuff for years? You know, like, do you have enough content material to keep a channel going well and performing well for like 10 years, right? Like, and then do you have to start getting like really kind of wildly creative and maybe trying to reinvent the wheel with just getting like the variety or whatever? But like, if you really break it down, like, I mean, you can debate different training methodologies and stuff like that, but if you really break it down, like Alex Hormozi kind of sums it up pretty good, where it's like you need to eat less and move more, or eat less crap and move more. I'm kind of paraphrasing because he might have cussed when he said it, but you know what I mean, right? And it's like, maybe it is just that simple. It's one of those things where like, getting your goal in terms of fitness and stuff, maybe it's a bit more like that quote where it's like, it's very simple to get what you want, but it's not easy. And some business lady said that about like, probably some business related. But it's like, maybe it's just like that, where it's like, it ain't rocket science. Lift some weights, eat some food, but like what you eat and how much you eat might matter more than maybe even like what your lifting strategy or exercise strategy is. I was saying this to myself today, where it's like, it's kind of hard to outwork a bad diet. Theoretically, to some level, maybe you can, but it's like, you know, if you're eating like 5,000 calories a day or something, like, how much you got to do in your life to get out of that hole you're putting yourself in calorically? See, I haven't done much of this stuff for a while, so you kind of maybe want to ease into it a little bit, especially if like the nutritional maintenance wasn't there, because like, you might just like kind of go full bore too soon and mess yourself up or whatever. I don't know, I'm usually kind of like an all or nothing, kind of like we're gonna start full tilt kind of person when it comes to this stuff. I could be wrong, maybe sometimes I'm more reasonable, but you know, to everything there is a cost, right? Maybe the solution to a lot more of this whole fitness content creation thing, it might just really be more just about the person doing it than, to a degree, what they're doing. Sam Sulek is probably evidence of this. I haven't watched a whole lot of his stuff, but just from the gist of it, or the vibe I get, is it's more like people like him, and he's doing the lifting thing, and he's probably pretty knowledgeable. It seems like he's pretty knowledgeable about it and stuff, and talks about a bunch of stuff, but it's like, it might just be that it's like, it's him doing it, and that's more kind of what sustains his content stuff, is like him doing the stuff and him being the personality behind it, rather than just, here is muscle dude working out and talking about food. It's like, if you just replace Sam Sulek with any random person, it might not work. But because it's him, people are here for it. Is that fair? I'm doing a bit more of like a Mike Mentzer strategy with like the more of the longer time between the reps, or with the, what is it, accentric and decentric, whatever you call it. The up and the down motion, man. Anyway. Yeah, buddy. And this isn't even like crazy weight or anything, right? But considering I haven't really done this very much for a bit. Oh, yeah, buddy. It is good to be back. Because, man, there have been times where I've probably been so into this. The only thing is I'm kind of all or nothing. Where, like, if I get really into it, the other stuff kind of takes more of a backseat. Know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. Oh, that was a good one. a good rep right there. Yeah, buddy. Whew. Oh, that was good. Alrighty. I'm gonna try this mirror angle shot here. So essentially I'm gonna put some clamps. Do I look in the mirror here? So then I'm looking at the camera. Anyway, I'll put some clamps on here because I find that when you do curls with this bar, you get the plates on there, maybe just any bar, but when you're moving a bar around and you got the plates on there, sometimes they just kind of tend to get more tilted or move more towards the side, like the edge of it. And you might get a lopsided bar because the plate's on the side, more on the side than on the other side. And the balance and stuff maybe gets a little bit off or whatever, so this just kind of keeps it together. But I'm just going to do like just some regular standing stuff, kind of similar to the seated preacher curls. It's just a bit more traditional or a bit more fun when you're just doing the standing stuff, and it's a bit easier to cheat this way too, depending on who you talk to. Some cheating might be a little bit of a good or bad thing. It just feels good. I just do some curling, you know what I'm saying? Although I've heard like easy bar apparently works the width of the bicep, whereas straight bar works the height. If Mike Menser was accurate about that. I'm just gonna do some barbell stuff. I don't even start with, because then you're so kind of like been out of the training game. I don't even know if this is, what's the angle like here? See, that's the thing. You gotta do the production thing solo and stuff. You're like, does this angle even work? That should be good enough. Yeah. So, like when you've been out of the mix a little bit more for a little bit, it's kind of like, again, depending on what you want to go for, if you want to go for more of the focused reps, like hypertrophy, whatever the heck, you know, you kind of like drop the weight down a little bit, slow it down. You know, when people talk about focusing on the squeeze or whatever. I've never really been super proficient mentally at that. I don't think. It's like when Arnold talks about getting inside the muscle, it's like, I've tried that probably, but I don't know if I'm really like completely doing it like how he describes it. But just slowing it down, you know, trying to really focus on the rep or whatever, or do the rep like really kind of intensely or intentionally. Like when Tom Platz talks about how when he kind of started more from square one or whatever with getting like a 20-pound dumbbell. He was like probably a big dude at the time, but like doing like the 20-pound dumbbell and nailing the range of motion, really working it out from the simple starting point again. And so he might have mentioned it might have been a little bit embarrassing for him to be like this big dude doing curls with a 20-pound dumbbell, but I guess he was trying to like go at it from the way that Arnold was doing it and really just try to nail it, you know? Whereas like, you could like not do it like this and just do like a heavy dumbbell and just really kind of cheat with it, you know what I mean? And you could maybe argue if there's some merit to that. I wouldn't rule it out, you know, because like it might be kind of fun to do just some heavy cheat curls and just kind of see what happens. Ideally, if you don't hurt yourself, you know, you just kind of work with it, you know. But it's kind of fun to just mess around a little bit with that kind of stuff, right? But again, you know, kind of at your own risk with that kind of thing, right? It is what it is, but anyway, it is nice having an empty gym. You could commentate over your video. These aren't even like a super heavy dumbbell. They're feeling heavy right now, but if you were like, you know, stuff like this, right? You know, people might like look at you like, what are you doing? But like that's a pretty pathetic attempt maybe, but it's like, if you could do just like a cheek curl, but it's like kind of reasonable, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of weaving and bobbing with it a little bit, but it's like, it's still going up, you're not like, you know what I mean? So, there might be some merit to it. All right. Basically, is my audio recording? Okay, good. Because man, like when the mic dies, it ain't good. So anyway, probably gonna do some hammer curls or whatever. Just kind of like getting back into it, you know what I mean? You kind of just gotta start, right? Like get your toes wet in the water, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I don't know, like, you know, you ever get those kind of intellectual YouTube video algorithm stuff where it's like, you know, people talking about productivity or whatever, and it's like, I was thinking about this when I was working on something, where it's like a philosophy of like, just get your toes wet, where it's like, if you're procrastinating or you find it difficult to muster up the energy to do something or work on something, it's like, just kind of get your toes wet, like just start doing something, even if it's like turning on the computer or whatever it is that you're doing. Like just do some basic starting point where you're like 1 or 5% into it. And it's like, that might already be like better, it might help you more at getting productive with doing the thing than if you just stayed sitting on the couch and not doing anything. Like just turn on the computer, just open the thing, just get in the car. Just, I heard someone on the radio today about like, put your work clothes, or not work clothes, your workout clothes, your gym clothes on. I didn't listen to the rest of it. I might have heard the bit before, but you might be like just getting changed into your gym clothes might get you more like in a routine of going to the gym or whatever. I could be misquoting the whole thing, but even what I said, maybe there's some truth to that. But anyway, you know, these are probably crap form looking, like the form probably looks crap a little bit on these hammer curls, but it is what it is. So anyway. sign. The arms are feeling it a little bit in the shoulder. Why is it not opening? This door's doing that again. There we go. Used to work here. Anyway. Alrighty. So you can't see my face at all. That's just great. I'm gonna get over here into the street light. My goodness, still can't see my face. Okay, it's coming into vision already. Street light. Alright. So that workout session went alright. Because I'm filming, the intensity probably wasn't the same as if I was just going in there. And then my camera fell down. Alright, to the pizza shop. Oh man. Anyway, so does that camera angle work? Anyway, whatever that was. Oh, there we go. The Kanye came on in the car. Reconnected. Anyway, so that, one second. Alright, lessen the noise now. That gym session went pretty well. And yeah, so we out here. And we out here. That gym session went pretty good. I would have been more focused if I was filming. But, you know, since I'm trying to kind of do this, you know, content creation / maybe, I don't know, kind of recording the journey to a degree, because it's like it's a certain phase in life right now. So maybe it's good to capture it or whatever. But anyway, going to the pizza shop now for just a little bit, and then probably go home and go to bed. Well, it's never usually a little bit of time at the pizza shop. It's normally, it turns into an hour or two or more or whatever. But anyway, pretty good gym session. Did mainly arms, just a tiny bit of chest thrown in there, and there's my face. And then yeah, so just getting back into it. We'll see how consistent it turns out to be, but it'd be good to get in good shape, you know what I mean? But anyway, see you around.